Hi, welcome to Calmer, where we exist between the spaces to have conversation, laughter, to ask questions, not needing to have all the answer. Today we have a very special guest with us. He is a friend to many, inspiration to most, and a coach to some. We have Keith here today with us. Thank you so much, Keith, for joining us here on Calmer.
Hi, Joey. This is a bit formal,
A
yes.
formal, yeah. So before we go into our topic, I saw on your social media you just came back from a hiking trip.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, this is by far the biggest attempt for me to have an adventure. Went to Annapurna Base Camp.
Right.
We call it the ABC. 6 days out in the
Wow.
wild. It was pretty fun. Usually we'll do it with a bunch of buddies through the years. So this is my 10th hiking trip. Besides pandemic, I've been doing it once a year. So this one is really fun. Never thought I would love to be out there for so long. Usually, the previous hikes, you just want to get to the summit, then you want to finish your job and come back and felt like you've done it. But this one, you really just stay with the nature, and every day probably is between 6 to 9 hours of a hike or trek, and you slowly just you can be quite humbled by the whole experience because there's so many surprises, beauty, and you kind of blend into. That means you have no control.
Wow.
You kind of blend into whatever that is allowed for that day, and whatever that comes to you. You can't really predict, and slowly you just immerse into the whole experience of being with the nature.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, I mean, like you describing it makes me want to go for it.
Come on.
Oh, I think that is it's really something. And I heard you mention this is like your 10th
Yes.
hiking trip.
Yes, yes.
So what's next after this?
Okay, we were researching around the ranges of Himalaya. I'm not a professional mountaineering guy. So whatever that is doable, I try to explore with safety. So there are a few options.
Right.
People are recommending me Everest Base Camp and also the Annapurna Circuit Trip, the ACT and the EBC. They are the famous ones. But then I stumbled upon another one called the Lantang Valley. It's there's a peak involved called the Yala Peak. The Yala Peak is about 5,500. So I think that's a low kind of snow-capped mountain
Wow.
that I can attempt. So I'm pretty up for it. I am trying to rally. All these years, all these 10 trips, I've been the one taking the initiative to rally. Most of them felt that it's suffering. But every one of them, after they finish it, they are grateful. They
Wow.
have done it. So this probably require a little bit more effort to convince them. But I am determined that they are not gonna throw me alone.
Wow.
Yes.
So you are the past 10 trips you have been the visionary. You've seen how it looks like at the end and you gather the people.
I can give you a bit of backstory, Joey. I think it was 2014. I felt that people say that leadership is a lonely path and ministry is lonely, and I refuse to believe in that. I believe that every relationship, as long as you're willing to invest, it will happen. So in fact, I think in 2014, those days, I don't know what it entails, but I signed up for Mount Kinabalu. That was my first, and actually I had your pastor, Pastor Daniel, to came along, and then Pastor Garrick and another two friends, Shauhan and Sandy, which I thought they are really dear to me. Like let's do something together.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking about ministry or having coffee. Let's do. I think as guys we bond over activities. I
Right.
don't know whether you agree with me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm close to this person because we play futsal, right? And you just have that sense of feeling that we'll back each other up without having to go through a lot of like a very mellow conversations, I
Yeah.
would say. And yes, and it's very in line with the topic that you have prepared today,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yes. But all the hiking trips has been different, and it brought up different part of us, and it has really, at the end of the day, allow us to see who we are and what we are made of.
Right. And I think that's beautiful when you mentioned about how you bond over
Yes.
common interests, and as guys, I think that's very real for us.
Yes.
We all bond over either it's sports,
Yes.
football team,
Yes.
or
Football.
whatever it is. But there is that common thing,
Mm.
and so the topic that we are going to dive into is we're talking about masculinity.
Mm.
And well, when a lot of time masculinity is very closely related to toxic masculinity,
Mm.
right? So, but it's a very touchy word
Yes.
because
yes.
for some masculinity looks one way and others it looks a different way.
Mm.
So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. When we talk about toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
how would you define it?
I think growing up, there's no such word.
Mm.
Yeah. I think growing up, we are all very familiar with any persatuan, any uniform body that you join. A lot of times, or any sports team that you're part of, your coach, your leader, even your teacher or parents will ask you to man up.
Right.
All right. It's part of adulting, taking up responsibility. Especially, let's say, if you are the firstborn of a male in a family, you're supposed to be the man of the family. I think then among my childhood, most friends will say, as men, we shed blood, we don't shed tears. You know, I think it's very common. And then when you play football and you play sports, and sometimes you take pride in having a fracture, you know, having bruises,
Battle scars.
battle scars, or if you are those days, I would say, when you are caned by your teachers, you would actually compare how many people has more rotan, right? I think that was the era that I was brought up. So there's no such thing as toxic masculinity, but as of today, words like man up, words like why are you crying? Why are you being so soft? Or why are you such a sissy? I think all these are categorized as toxic masculinity. And I understand why, and I totally resonate with it. And I think it's toxic because we are dealing with a totally different world right now. I won't say generation. I just think that never, ever in this world has anybody has to grow up in such tough environment. I think a lot of us in general would think that things are more convenient, informations are easily accessible. I felt there's so much that a child has to digest or process. There's so much that a child has to go through
Right.
that I cannot understand. You know, the information that is coming their way by choice or not, the speed of news, the speed of a trend. It's something that it's I don't think I will do well if I'm a kid right now. You know, things were simpler
Yeah.
back in the days, and the goal is not to go back to last time. The goal is not to go back to Nokia, right? The goal is not to lock them up,
Yeah.
or live in a monastic life. I think it's to understand that times has changed. We are living in a totally different world,
Yeah.
and people need to express,
Right.
and people need to find a safe space. And as a result of that, by you exhibiting toxic masculinity, I think I can just say in a very simple conclusion that it's not helping.
Right.
It's not helping to tell people to man up. It's not helping to tell people to bite the bullet. It's
Right.
not helping to tell people don't cry. It's not helping to ask them to suppress their emotion and just suck it up. I think you would agree with me, Joey. Like it's not helping. My son is growing in a totally different situation as compared to I am. Like the amount of comparison is crazy. The amount of maybe the perception or even the rate of so-called maturity is just so fast.
Yeah.
and it's so hard. So one day he can be doing the vote.
Yeah.
The other day he could be doing K-pop. What's the latest Netflix craze? The K-pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Something like so. Yes, it's just so fast.
Yeah.
During my days, maybe a slam dunk can last me a few years, or a Dragon Ball can last me a few years, a Pokemon can last me a few years.
Yeah.
You know, supporting a team can last me a few years, but the rate of things are changing. I think we cannot say certain things to them anymore.
Yep.
Everything that you consume, there must be a place to come out, right?
Yeah.
There must be a place to come out. So I don't know if I'm answering you correctly. So to me, toxic masculinity means you're not helping by asking people to just maybe be strong. I think there are different ways of going about it.
Yeah.
There are different ways of helping someone to process and maybe grow.
Right. And so I want to piggyback on something that you mentioned. You talked about how the world that we used to grow up in and the world today, it's very different.
Yes.
And I would think that a majority of people from, the previous generation
Yes.
are, leaders in their companies and leaders in wherever places. So now having these two very different world,
Yes.
how does a leader, in a sense that grew up in a different time,
Yeah.
now journey with somebody who's growing up in this time, because it's so different.
You're right.
We were taught that scars are battle scars. It makes us manly.
Yes,
Crying, you don't cry. But now I think people are a bit more expressive.
You're right.
They articulate better what they feel.
Yes.
And if they feel sad, there's nothing wrong with crying.
You're so right.
Like, how do we then manage that?
I think we got to listen.
Mm.
Yeah. I think we got to be humble to know the fact that we don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's something that I tell myself, you don't know.
Mm.
So Keith, if you don't know, then you better listen. It's very easy to label them, very easy to call them certain things. But I really disagree that when leaders or parents, I'm talking to intergenerations. If you are the older generation, it's really not right for you to say, when I was your age, when I was going through what you're going through. I think that's unwise, because I can guarantee you they are not hearing you.
Yep.
I can guarantee you it's just they turn on a deaf ear. But at the same time, what can we do? Like what's the little steps that we can take together is to listen well. Listen well. I personally believe that every one of us, I still want to assume that everyone have positive intent on both sides, and I want to assume that actually people do want to be strong. People do want to find meaning and purpose in life. They do want to navigate through tough situations. So it's just that the game now is totally different. So for me, I stay very curious. So for example, as I was training this organization in digital marketing, they have a big team, about 80, including interns, with probably 100 of them as a workforce. So I've been going to them for some time right now, and I realized the question they ask, the issues that they face, it's something that got me like, okay, I don't have an answer.
Right.
Yeah, and I would tell them that I probably would need some time to think through. So I will ask more clarifying questions. So for example, mental health issue is so rampant right now.
Yeah.
It's someone is on certain medication.
Yeah.
It is as common as people taking Panadols during my time. So when they ask me, like, what do you do as a team lead when you have your members reporting to you that they are not in a mentally healthy space. They
Right.
they want to stay out of work today. They want to check out. Um, and when those questions, I cannot straight away say, oh, you cannot allow that to happen, and then you will dilute the culture of the organization. You know,
Yeah,
typically,
yeah.
no. You need to show them who's the boss, and you need to
Mm.
show them like, what about the others that are watching, and you will dilute, and everyone will behave like that. What if everyone also take MC and take leave because of this? So you will go berating. No, you should not do that.
Right.
Yeah. So for me, then I would try my best to understand that was it seasonal. That means they are going through typically difficult time of breakups,
Right.
or someone in their family not doing well. Last time, work is work.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
care. You understand?
Yeah.
Put your dirty laundry back home. That's what bosses will say. Like,
Yep.
don't bring your emotions to work.
Yep.
These are common phrases that people use in the corporate.
Yeah.
You know, your personal stuff, leave it at home. When you come to work, just show up. But it's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible. And so what I told them is that there are reasons for certain specialists to be around. And even though I am not the best person to help, and as a team lead, you got to acknowledge that you are not the best person to help, but you can give space, and you can actually fight for probably allowance or rights for this person to go and see a clinical psychologist
Right.
or a therapist. Would there be such a location? You check with your HR. And this is good leadership.
Yeah.
Or probably you can discuss on non-paid leave so that this person can take a break from work and come back fresher, because this kind of kindness, when or when we talk about empathetic leadership, when
Right.
it is being offered, it gives great return.
Yeah.
So I would just talk like that and non-conclusive. And I realized that this current time, one of the things that I realized that is very apparent is people can live with a non-conclusive situation very well. In the
Yeah.
past, I think it's very hard. So
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? Last time is like, so what's the answer? But now I think people quite okay with holding the tension and living just in between.
Yeah.
Do you actually experience that? I think people can really just
Yeah. Actually, that's why we exist. Actually, you know, we exist. Why we exist, because we want to have conversations in between all the conversations, and really not having to have all the answers.
there you go.
The greatest problem comes when we are seeking for answers that we have yet to achieve.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, like for you, like you were climbing the mountains, right? You have plenty of questions.
Yes.
But until you get there, and
Yeah,
until you conquer that,
correct.
that's where you get all the answers.
Otherwise, you'll be like a kid, right? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah, and so you talked about, you know, how empathetic leadership
Yes.
in the workspace, and I think that's still this tension in the workplace. Okay, I can't speak for anywhere else, but I think let's talk locally.
Yes.
Like, do you think it's beginning to shift away from traditional masculinity in the workplace? Has it begun to shift to be more mindful of people's situation, to be more mindful? Because I believe you work with quite a number of different
Yes,
companies and
yes.
different leaders. Do you think that it is moving in the right direction, or it's still quite slow as compared to the global stage?
Okay, when we talk about progress here, there are certain things that I really appreciate us as Asian. I don't know whether certain imagination of our progress with the Western world is really good progress or not.
Yeah, true.
I rather we delay. You
True.
understand?
Yes.
I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm talking about. There are certain code of conduct like respect. Yeah. Someone that is more senior in age. I think as Asians, no matter what, there is still certain weight where we carry about maybe we are taught at home to be mannerism. I think when it comes to what you said about progress, I realized that what we are looking for, it's everyone in the corporate, everyone in the organization, everyone in the team just come to this place to say that let's figure it out together.
Wow.
let's figure it out together. I think that's, to me, is progress. When you say traditional masculinity, it's I've been there, I've done it.
Right.
This is the way. Follow, you won't go wrong.
Yep.
I think, especially pertaining to methods, I am quite against. But principle stays.
Wow.
Alright, principle stays. Like, be the most curious person in the room. Be on time.
Yep.
Ask good questions. I think principle stays.
Yep.
Be hardworking.
Yeah.
Have integrity. I think all this stays. But must clock in 7:15. Must wear suit and tie. Mustn't wear your sandals. Must comb your hair. You know?
Yeah.
Nah. I was told off once when I was doing a training. An elderly gentleman came and said, "Do you know when you wear like that, you can't even go into my clubhouse?" So I say, "I'm so sorry, sir. If you find that this is disrespectful, I will wear properly.
Yep.
But there is no means of me disrespecting you." And he said, "Yeah lah, you young people." So I am thinking, like, I don't wear to offend you.
Yeah.
I wear to represent myself.
Yep.
But I disagree that I must wear like that so that I stand a chance to go to your clubhouse, because I don't want to go to your clubhouse. Nobody goes to clubhouse. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have class pass. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, so I think that I disagree. That I disagree. Like,
Yep.
so when parents say, "Oh, you wear until like that," it's a sign of disrespectful, being disrespectful. I think no.
Yeah.
It's just the different way of them showing up. Of course, sloppiness, like principle, sloppiness is sloppiness.
Yep.
Yeah. But the way that I wear, so some people have certain, some people
Yeah.
have certain way of representing themselves. I see yourself, you have tats and all. They're all stories.
Yeah.
You understand? But if you say, only people in the prison have tattoos, that's method.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
You're right.
Like, my CEO won't even talk to you if they see that you have piercing. That I disagree.
Right.
That I think is traditional leadership, or I don't know whether it's masculinity or not. But I think we have to avoid imposing methods
Yeah.
and be curious and figure it out together. I hope I'm answering your question.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. I think you're answering it in above and beyond.
Thank you.
But so we've been talking a lot in a much larger scale.
Yes.
I want to zoom into how about our individual lives. Are we so? For you, my question for you is that among your peers, among your friends, how vulnerable are you in terms of talking about how you feel, your emotions? Because for me, it was a struggle for me to be able to open up to my peers, even to just let them know I don't feel good. It has always this thought at the back of my head to think that, what if they think less of me? Or what if they think, oh man, you are a guy, you are a father now, you shouldn't be thinking like that. I think that's still this hint of fear at the back of my head. And so I'm asking this question because it's more for me. You know?
I think I have no problem sharing my vulnerability or my struggles. Easier to say that the inadequacy inside of me,
Right.
I have no problem. It's just sharing it with who. Being part of an organization for a long time, sometimes my greatest concern is when I tell you, and then it goes one big
Yes,
round,
yeah.
like, so everyone look at me with a sympathetic eye, but I didn't tell you, like, how come so many people know? So as a result of that, probably I am not too, I don't feel too safe
Right.
to say it anymore, because whatever I say, it becomes news. I believe in sharing
Right.
my struggle. I believe in being authentic and just be real.
Right.
That I don't have it. I But over the years, I think I've shared across another podcast is that I've come to appreciate having a therapist
Right.
to help me process some of my emotions, because they are trained. It's just like when you want to have a surgery, you want a surgeon that's trained. You don't want just a good-hearted friend to operate on you.
Yes.
It's not that you don't like your friend, but you probably want someone that can handle the mess.
Yep.
Yeah, if you have certain issues in your body, probably you want to see a gynae, or you want to see an oncologist, or you want to see an ENT,
Right.
because of specific issue, because
Yeah.
they carry that part better and they can make sense of it.
Yeah.
But along that journey, I think my wife has been my constant best friend that I can share anything and everything. In the past, probably as a leader, I have this ego.
Right.
I have this ego and this pride, especially as a leader, to say that, I think you can't help me. My problem is too big. If I share with you, I might crush you.
Yeah.
I think these are all ego. So I have to humble myself
Yeah.
and learn to share. That's why I have friends around me, very, very selected.
Yep.
Few that would see me as I am, accept me as I am, and tell me as it is.
Yeah.
And it's a very important thing that they would also have the courage to tell me, like, I think you're overthinking.
Right.
I think it is your insecurity speaking. Yeah. Besides that, I have a mentor, an elderly gentleman that's 70 years old,
Right.
that has been through life and live with integrity, that I highly respect, that I will share just openly. And I'll tell him, I call him uncle, and I'll just tell him, uncle, I think I am not in a good place.
Right.
Yeah. And uncle will just walk with me, just ask me question.
Wow.
Yeah, and ask me about my prayer life, and ask me, have I been grateful? Do I count my blessing? Have I been harboring bitterness? So very good question. And slowly, of course, my faith allows me to bring it then to the altar
Right.
to pray and to resolve it.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's still between me and God. But it's good to have friends, mentors, therapists, your partner, all of them that the keyword is trust,
Right.
to journey together. So again, reflecting back to what I said just now, I have a community that would say, let's figure it out together,
Wow.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
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 You don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
You don't want to become the latest gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to become the latest lesson that people talk about. Yeah, you like that lah, then you'll be like Joey lah. So
Yeah.
so I think that's all we want to avoid.
Oh yeah.
So I am vulnerable, to answer your question, and I think my friends would know that.
And I think to point out a few things, I think you put it so beautifully. And in our previous podcast, we talked about community as well, and you talked about having selected friends,
Yes.
seeking professional help, which I think is people are coming to realization that they actually need professional help.
They
you
do.
know, you can't just brush it off, because I've heard many men, they struggle with this thing called loneliness,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that to hear how you battle with that.
Yes.
Journeying with a mentor, journeying with your partner, and having friends, and that gives you a very, well, I'll say, healthy environment to
Yes.
thrive. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah. We can talk about then where are some of the wrong places.
Okay.
I think, let's be honest, everyone that's listening, social media is a bad place to feel vulnerable and just putting a phone in front of you and cry while eating noodle. I think whatever that you solicit, that kind of support, is not real. Because when you end that channel, they go on with their lives. But my friends, when they understood my problem, they carried with me in prayers. They check in on me. Let's say there was a very difficult time where my kids were admitted into hospital.
Right.
I have friends that would text me and say, so how is the situation today? Your so-called online friends won't do that.
Yeah.
So we got to be wise.
Yeah.
We got to be wise in a relationship that we invest in.
Wow.
Yeah. Whatever that you try to solicit out of that that social media path, you got to accept that sometimes it's not real. It's not real, and families will be there for you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't meet your families that much, but you know that they will be there for you. And where else is not right? I think maybe just hanging out on random places, like going to the pub,
Right.
just thinking to share with someone on certain chat platforms. I think no, I don't agree. Like, I want to be vulnerable means I turn on a live stream and just cry my hearts out,
Right.
or I just go to a editor and write my story out and publish on platforms. I think that's not vulnerability.
Right.
I mean, that is not the right premise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the argument could also be like, well, I don't have people like you. I don't have friends like you. I don't have a partner like you. I can't afford then therapy. So how would you address that?
So you see, I will apply back my principle. Then let's figure out together.
Ah.
Like, let's figure out together. Like, then what can you afford?
Mm.
Do you have just one friend, or can you just go to a nearby church, or could you just journal
Right.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, would you pick up a best mental health book to read? Would you help yourself?
Yep.
Can you pick up a sports? Like, let's figure out. I'm not going to tell you that my method is the best,
Right.
because again, I said, I know you are exposed to many things, and I don't want you to I don't want to corner you, and I don't want to punish you to or to rehabilitate. But I want you to just be curious. Like, instead of just getting attention, maybe what you need is to get better.
Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about the negative space,
Yeah.
negative toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
But let's shift to a
Sure.
positive, a positive view on it. So how does positive masculinity looks like?
Own it up, right? Be a man of responsibility. Like, be a man of your word. I think these are things that we want. Like, show up with the best. I don't know what level best you are able, but show up. Show up in a way where you in a public and you in a private will be the same person. Show up.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's maybe positive masculinity, in my own opinion. Take responsibility. Be willing to say sorry. Be willing to admit that you're wrong. Be willing to say that you don't have it. Be willing, if you felt the need to cry, cry. Don't hide. But very importantly, I think at this junction in my life, I want to model my manhood after my own personal faith. Someone that would be willing to care for others.
Yeah.
I am not to the extent that I'm willing to die for somebody, but there's a aspiration.
Yeah.
There's a role model for me of what a man looks like.
Yeah.
Someone that would have compassion to the poor, to the needy, to the sick, to the oppressed. I think that to me, it's manhood. Someone that would forgive, right? Forgive and let go because you choose to love. I think that's my aspiration, because we all have a savior.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate picture of a man.
Wow, I think you've dropped so many good values and what positive masculinity looks like. It's I would say it's also something that is quite complex,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the complexity of it is that how do we then balance between what we are wanting to be and what we have been taught to be, because that is the tension.
Yep.
Right? Because when we choose to forgive somebody may say that you're weak. it's well within your right, an eye for an eye. You should have done this, you have done that. So that we know that it's not right.
Yeah.
Right? We know we shouldn't do it. But there's this tension.
You're right.
How do we... I think it's one thing that is difficult to navigate through.
It is. An eye for an eye, it feels good just for a short moment. Yeah, if you tried before, and then you will be tossed into another kind of emptiness. Yeah. I think you can try, but we need to, at the end of the day, experiment to see what really works.
Right.
Because it's very tiring to hate someone. It's very tiring to harbor unforgiveness. Yeah, it's very, very tired.
Right.
So to me, whether it's traditional or what is right, I think we can experiment on it and then choose what's the real truth and walk in that.
Right.
Maybe a more practical part that we can talk about positive masculinity is that when you say you will come on time, you come on time. When you saw messages on your text reply, I think be responsible. When you said that you're going to bring your kids somewhere, bring.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's easier. When you say you want to come home for dinner, come home. Yeah, when you... I like to use this illustration many times. When you decided to not trust Waze and trust yourself and turn the wrong junction, say sorry because you delayed everybody, because you drive and then you throw tantrum and then you throw a rage, but you choose to turn.
Yeah.
You understand? I think that's not right. And say, I'm so sorry, I made the wrong turn. And the whole car journey will be a lot more peaceful. Yeah. And plan well next time. You understand? That means that to me is on a more ground, practical side, rather than I'm the man, I suppress, I cannot show. So you guys caused me to be late. You guys are not thankful that I'm driving you all every single day. That it make like everyone is like,
You want to know what the funny thing is?
Okay.
The funny thing is that all that you've mentioned would be what people say the ideal man is today. Right? You think about it. If you to watch, well, the K-dramas are like the biggest thing now. So I recently I finished watching the one with IU. When Life Gives You Tangerine.
Wow.
My wife keep telling me, you look at that man, you look at the main character. That's how a man should be. He honors his wife. I said, I don't honor you. I honor you. It's just different. He's so soft. He's so, he's a man of, so basically when I look at him and I'm thinking about what you just said, well, that's how people want men to be. So I believe that we are slowly shifting to a healthier view of masculinity, but there are still people who still want to project in a different way. But I think that's the time we have today. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much
being here. So thank you so much. See you guys in the next episode.